What's up, dudes? In this video, I want to talk about when it's the right time and when it's the wrong time to start over on a project. Alright, so I'm here in my studio, as you can see from the shelves behind me and the boxes. Still haven't had time to unpack. And a big reason for that is I have, well, for one, the big book project is I'm in the thick of it, I'm drawing it, we're going. There will be more on that project very soon, I'm sure. And the other reason is I had decided, probably against my better judgment, but I've decided that this is the right thing to do. I'm starting over on this little side project that I'm very excited to be doing, and I've been having fun redrawing and starting over. So, I'm about to start, finally, now that all the writing on the book is done, running my very first Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I am a dungeon master. So a big part of running this game is I'm a first-time DM and my players are first-time players, so I wanted to give them a very traditional Dungeons & Dragons experience. But I had to put my own sort of spin on it, so I decided that I was going to draw all of the enemies and make little tokens out of them. I would show you the tokens, but they're all packed up. I'll put a link up here to a video that explained how I make all the tokens, so check that out if that's something you're interested in. But in this video, I just really want to talk about, after all the work I've put in, why I'm starting over and why I think it's important to sometimes redo things. Okay, what I'm going to do now is show you a time-lapse video of me working in Photoshop redrawing one of the enemies. He's called a Red Brand Ruffian, and I don't want to give any of the story away, but if you know that enemy, you probably know what adventure I'm running, and of course I'm customizing the adventure and everything, but one of the big things for this project is I wanted to be able to draw this set of monsters and offer it up for other people to use. And so maybe before, if I was just using this for my friends and I wasn't going to be sharing this stuff publicly and making it publicly available, maybe I wouldn't have redone this project. But since I really have this strong desire to make these tokens, these little like 2D miniatures of these enemies and offer it publicly, I want them to be really, really good. I just wasn't happy with how they looked. And while some of the enemies, I'm very happy with how they looked, and I'll just be making slight changes to them to get them to fit in with this new sort of style, most of them are going to be completely redrawn like this ruffian. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about style. I said at the beginning that I wanted to give the players a very traditional Dungeons & Dragons game, but I wanted to infuse it with my style and sensibilities. And obviously, as an illustrator, the easiest way for me to do that is to illustrate stuff for the game. Now, a lot of the concepts that I came up with for these, like you'll see in this ruffian enemy, that I don't really change much about the concept of the character. He still has the dagger that's like kind of peeking out from the cloak. He has his coin pouch and all the sort of indicators of what this character is about, his expression and everything. You know, in the original, when I was doing these originally, I thought a lot about what their purpose is, and I wanted to be very clear, even at like an inch tall, you know, what these enemies were all about. So that stuff I don't think is really going to change. What is going to change, though, is the art style. A couple months ago, I kind of stopped working on these. One, because life has been crazy, moving and all that stuff. But two is I wasn't having as much fun drawing them. I think really that is the big reason to restart a project. If you're not having fun working on it, then something isn't right. And if you can figure that out and change it and learn how to have fun working on it again, then I think it's perfectly acceptable to start over. I want to add one little exception to that, and that I'm a strong believer in it's better to finish something than it is to let it drag on and on and on. So I think it's always better to get something out there, even if it's not perfect, than it is let it disappear and not finish something. So I do want to make sure to just say that it's most important to finish the project. In this case, though, I just wasn't feeling how these monsters and enemies were looking, but I've just recently been found some inspiration that sort of clicked in my head and unlocked this new approach to drawing these enemies, and it's got me very, very excited to work on this stuff again. I was pulling images, and one of my big inspirations is Akira Toriyama. He's the dude that drew all the Dragon Ball comics, and he's done a lot of video game artwork. He did Chrono Trigger and the concept artwork for the Dragon Quest games. My favorite Akira Toriyama artwork is his older stuff. There's a certain like roundness to it that I think is kind of lacking in the newer stuff, and there's a simplicity that I really love. Like that's his older stuff, the original Dragon Ball, and he has some other comics that just really look awesome. But I was going back and saw some of his original Dragon Quest, like Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, like concept artwork, and he drew all of the enemies in the game, like classic JRPG, turn-based video game enemies, and actually the concept art is awesome, but the way whoever did the pixel art in the game, the pixel art versions are awesome too. And just the way that they're shown is exactly like how I was drawing these D&D minis. And it just clicked in my head like, oh man, these are so awesome. I love this style. I'm gonna revisit some of the drawings that I did and redo them, get the proportions. I was never happy with the proportions of the characters, and I needed to just simplify the line art and have just good flat coloring like all the old Dragon Quest artwork, and everything just clicked. And so that's why I decided to start over, because I just had this little piece of inspiration that got me thinking, and then I actually reworked the skeleton monster first, and I just had so much fun doing that I decided I gotta start over. I gotta redraw all these monsters with this new inspiration floating around in my head. And really, that's all there is to it. Is I wanted to have fun making these again, and I wanted to be really proud to offer them as printable miniatures, down the line when I can collect all of them. I think my players would love either version. I think they would be stoked to see either version, but for me, I really wanted to be super proud offering it for other people to use in their games. Yeah, dudes, like, even though I'm insanely busy right now and I really shouldn't be starting over, it just feels right. It feels right. And you know what? This has been a great little way to warm up drawing for the day. So it's giving me something to post on Instagram. So yeah, this project has got me really excited to be drawing, and it's pushing me to draw some like weird characters and make these traditional D&D monsters my own. So yeah, hopefully that was informative, and that maybe helps a little bit with your own projects. I don't know. That's just what's been on my mind lately, and I wanted to share with you guys in a video. Alright dudes, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Let me know if you have any suggestions on things you would like to see on this YouTube channel. Gonna be skating more, gonna be, of course, drawing more, and maybe I'll start showing a little bit more of my life here in the new house and at the shred quarters. I need to be better about, I think I need to be a little more willing to pull out the camera and document cool stuff as it happens. Yeah, I'm very inspired by all the people there who do that, and I need to get into that more myself. Hopefully more of that soon. And yeah, I can't wait to show you guys. I can't wait to show you dudes more about this D&D campaign. I have a few more video ideas that'll show like some of the cool things I'm doing for the game. I'm not going to worry about actually recording the games as they happen, because like I said, I'm a first-time dungeon master, they're first-time players. I don't want to bring the whole filming it into the mix. There's already too much to be thinking about, like having to set up equipment and keep track of all that stuff. It's just too much. But I still do have a lot to share about Dungeons and Dragons. So if you like this video, if it was helpful in any way, if you want to see more D&D stuff, definitely leave a comment below. Let me know. It's something I'm totally in love with, and I would love to share that love with you dudes, so let me know. All right, hope you have an awesome, productive week. Catch you dudes later.